Hey guys, Lincoln Parks here, and today's podcast was brought to you by We Are Henry. We Are Henry is one of our sponsors. If you have not been or seen We Are Henry magazine, beautiful magazine. You can look at it, flip through the pages, look local stories that are happening right here in Henry County. All you have to do, visit wearehenry.com, our local magazine. We've partnered with We Are Henry. So if you go to wearehenry.com and then click on the advertising button at the top, which is wearehenry.com, We Are Henry, my local. If you go click on that link, you'll see all the advertising plans that we have partnered together. You get a banner, you get in the digital newsletter. You are on both the websites for My Local Henry and We Are Henry. I'm telling you, it's a great partnership, great community partner. We Are Henry, and I know you see these magazines all around. Check out our partner, wearehenry.com. Now, let's get back to the program. Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the I'm Local podcast. Today, I'm so extremely excited to have Sonia Hedgewood on from the Pregnancy Resource Center. Sonia, welcome to the podcast.
All right. Thanks, Lincoln. Thanks for having me. We're glad to be here.
Absolutely. So, Sonia, I just want you to jump in real quick and just share a little bit about the Pregnancy Resource Center as an introduction to people that don't know what you guys do.
Well, we're your local one-stop shop for that. Think of a first missed pregnancy appointment where you need to find out and have that medical confirmation and find out next steps. But take away the need for insurance, take away the need for payment. We want people to be able to walk in the door and be able to get the information they need without those barriers. So we do those early pregnancy tests and we do those ultrasounds. We can do STI testing, decision support, resource support. But then uniquely beyond that, we have a family support system called Invest. So we rebranded a couple years ago to the Bridge Wellness South because we wanted to be a wraparound wellness support for the families in our community. So we're really just trying to be that one-stop shop for those first pregnancy decisions.
That's awesome. So Sonia, let me ask you this. So if there's a young lady or a woman, whoever it is, and they find out they're pregnant, right? And they're like, man, what do I do? What's the next step?
Right.
I may not be able to afford this, or all these things are going through their mind. How do you guys step in and kind of help guide them?
Yeah, first of all, we step in knowing that is a completely normal response to pregnancy. I don't know very many people who got that first pregnancy test and didn't have some concerns come to mind. Right. A lot of times they're financial concerns. Sometimes they're concerns over what that's going to mean for them intellectually, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And so first of all, we come to the table knowing that those are completely normal responses to the thought of being pregnant. We do see a lot of single moms as well. And so they have some unique concerns that would be for them and wondering like what next steps look for them too. So whether it's a family concern or a single mom concern, we're ready to support that. So our nurses are going to sit down with them and talk about what does that mean for them physically. We see women walk in the door every day and they're worried and they're concerned. And some of them are considering whether or not they're going to continue their pregnancy. And we're not scared of that conversation. We're ready to talk with them about what those options mean for them. But we are going to advocate for considering them all in depth, not just isolating yourself into one decision. And so we're here to support the fact that we know that they have those 5 crucial needs that they need to step into. They're here for a pregnancy test. We want to serve that physical need. But also the Ottawa Decision Guide says that we need to balance that decision on all of our intellectual, emotional, spiritual, environmental needs as well. So we're really just going to sit and help offer them this place to do that.
And that's so powerful because, having a resource like you guys for women to come in and be able to talk to somebody and not knowing where they're going is powerful, especially having that here in this community. I know a lot of people are moving into Henry County and maybe they just don't know where to go. So I'm glad that, we're talking today so that people can know there is a resource here in Henry County for you to be able to come in and talk to somebody. So, Sonia, you mentioned that the conversations that you guys have. Is there, like, what kind of biblical aspect do you guys tie into when you're speaking with women about pregnancy and the situations that they're in?
Sure. So we started in 1993 as a Christian faith-based organization, and we have not lost those roots. And so anytime that we are with a patient who does open up the conversation for a spiritual concern, we're going to address that with Christian values. Now, you can come in the door with any kind of faith background that you may have, and we're going to be so sensitive and respectful of that. But of the opportunities we have, because one of the big pieces we do address with pregnancy is that spiritual concern. And so if that door is open to address how that's going to affect them spiritually, here's the thing about those 5 areas. If we have one that we ignore, it's not going to stay ignored. It's
Right.
going to come back
Yeah.
because it's a part of who we are. And so
Yes.
if someone walks in, we want to make sure that we address that spiritual piece as well as maybe the intellectual piece. What do I think? How much knowledge do I need to be able to move forward with? If we ignore those pieces of ourselves, they're not going to stay ignored. They're part of who we are. And so we're going to open the door into what we feel like is a good faith background in our Christian beliefs.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to jump in now to how you guys are just getting the word out. I know you have a a platform that you guys use, like a gala that you guys have, which is very huge in the community, and people giving back. I remember one time when I was at your center and just seeing all of the resources that you have for kids. Some people donating a lot of stuff. Talk a little bit about that aspect, and how people are pouring into the center.
Wow. So a couple of things in there. We do try and get the word out. It's expensive and it's
Yes.
difficult. We want to reach not only our patients where they're at, which is usually social media, Google advertising, Facebook, Instagram, but our donors. And so we also try and reach out to our donors via that banquet that you mentioned that we have coming up on October 21st. If anybody's
There you go.
interested, our keynote speaker this year is Pastor Benny Tate. And so
Oh,
we're
wow.
really excited to host at Glen Haven again this year. There's information on our website for anybody who'd like to jump in there. Sponsorships are available as well for that event. But really, we do other community events. We had recently a concert at Shingle Roof Campground where they highlighted us. We do health
Yes.
events around the community. We participate in some networking events for donor engagement. We're just trying to show up wherever our patients might also be showing up, working with
Mm.
Connecting Henry through a healthy
Yes.
pregnancy initiative that they have for low birth weight coming up. That's going on. So really, we're just trying to engage. We feel like we've been in this community since 1993. Somebody told me one time we were the best kept secret in Henry County, which was a sweet thing to say, but not necessarily
Yes.
what you want to hear. Um,
Yes.
uh, because we have the capacity and we see like 800 patients a year,
Wow.
again, free of charge. But we know with the growing community you mentioned that there are more. There are
Right.
more women who don't know what the resources are around here. They don't know what type of insurance to pick, or that if they pick something like Medicaid, one type of insurance in Medicaid, that if they call their provider and the provider doesn't take that within a certain range, they can switch. There's so many different things
Wow.
that they're not aware of. So we want to be here for that.
Wow.
But yeah, we're really just trying to reach out to those donors and patients in the community.
Well, that's so important, because what you are saying here is a ministry that has that's touching women's lives, and the partnerships that you guys have really help to foster that. Like,
Mhm.
what are some of the ways that people in the community, they're going to be watching this, they're going to be listening to it, that maybe they can give back? Like, how, in what ways can just people that are watching, and they feel that they want to, what can they do? Hey guys, Lincoln Parks here, and today's podcast was brought to you by We Are Henry. We Are Henry is one of our sponsors. If you have not been or seen We Are Henry magazine, beautiful magazine. You can look at it, flip through the pages, look local stories that are happening right here in Henry County. All you have to do, visit wearehenry.com, our local magazine. We've partnered with We Are Henry. So if you go to wearehenry.com and then click on the advertising button at the top, which is wearehenry.com, We Are Henry, my local. If you go click on that link, you'll see all the advertising plans that we have partnered together. You get a banner. You get in the digital newsletter. You are on both the websites for My Local Henry and We Are Henry. I'm telling you, it's a great partnership, great community partner. We Are Henry, and I know you see these magazines all around. Check out our partner, wearehenry.com. Now, let's get back to the program.
Well, first and foremost, obviously, as a nonprofit, I would like to highlight the opportunity to give financially through our supportthebridgewellness.org website. Financial gifts make sure that we can keep the doors open, keep the lights on, and impact every woman that walks in the door. We also could use some volunteers. Volunteers can range anywhere from someone who loves to organize the sweet baby gifts that we get to medical professionals, nurses who would like to give of their time and talents to be able to sit with patients, mentors who want to walk through weekly appointments with our families that come in, Bible study teachers who might want to engage with people on a weekly basis to just share a gospel message with them. And then we have a lot of community partners who will give items for the boutique, anything from car seats to diapers to clothes. We're one of the only places in the community someone can come and walk through a process to receive a car seat without being financially obligated for it. So they take classes and they attend events here with us, and they earn those supplies instead of spending their dollars or spending their time. And we know that that's valuable. So we want to make sure that we have what they need, and we're able to partner with them in that. So that would be the main places that we definitely want to know that the community can partner with us to make sure that they're making a difference. When they invest in us, we invest in our clients and empower them to further invest in their local community. So it's a win-win.
Oh, that's definitely a win-win for everyone. And man, that's a lot that you guys do. I know it does not go unnoticed. Like you said before, it was the best kept secret, but we don't want this to be a secret anymore. I know it's not a secret anymore. We don't want it to be a secret. We want everybody to come. So a question that I also had for you was, what about the men, in this situation? I know I know the women come in and they're talking to you guys, but there may be a husband, or there may be a boyfriend, or there may be someone like that. Like, how does that connection work?
It works, Lincoln, when it works. First of all, some of these relationships come and there is that disconnection that exists. But even when there's a tenuous connection, we want the father to know that we respect and value his involvement and input. And they're often so surprised to know that we're here to uniquely meet with them as well. We work with Lamont Jones with Furthering Fathering to be able to partner with these dads and strengthen their relationships as well. So we have classes for them. They can come into the ultrasound. We invite them into these decision processes because we know that when families work together, that it strengthens their entire unit. So we want these fathers to be involved. Some of them don't know how to be, that they're first-time fathers, or they maybe haven't had examples that were relevant in their life. And so some of those education and mentorship support services for them, that they just light up and realize how much they can give to their family.
Yeah, that has always been something that's been in the back of my mind. The reason why I asked that question is because I know there are a lot of fathers out there that they want to be involved. Some of them may not be involved, and it's so good that you guys have a partnership with an organization that can help to speak with those fathers. So that thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Yeah, we have great community partnerships. We have
Right.
a great community. Like when I look
Yes.
at what we have going on here in Henry County, and I get the benefit of being able to see other centers that are like ours in other counties, we've got it going on. We have
Yes.
such strong community partners that are coming around and surrounding the people, and when we can work together, that strengthens everything that we have to offer, and we don't have to make the community pay for everything twice. If
That's
they
right.
would like to donate to Virtuous Women Life Academy and to us, and know that we're not duplicating those services. June is doing what June does at Virtuous Women. We're doing what
That's right.
we're doing at the Bridge, but it's all strengthening the support.
The community, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So I just love this community because so many people are intertwined, and like you said, the organizations just work together with each other, and it's not one against the other, and we're all just one community coming together. So I've seen that in this community over the last 20 some years that I've been here, and just connecting with people like yourself, and like you mentioned, June and other organizations that are doing great things. So Sonia, in wrapping up, I want to ask, one other question, that people may be thinking about. So, teen pregnancy, right? So that there are, and I know you guys see this, and how do you deal with a teen, maybe in high school, may have dropped out of high school or whatever. How do you guys deal with that, and how often do you see it?
We see it maybe about 10% of our patients are under the age of 20. Um,
Yeah,
we think there's probably more teenagers that are in need of pregnancy support, and they might be going into their family unit, finding the support with their parents, and that's great. The ones that we see here, they've probably found us because they don't have good family support. And so
yeah,
we try and wrap around her a little bit more structure with what next steps might be and clearly identify those because and I'm just going to be very honest. I was her one day,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
remember sitting in the office, and they're handing me all this information, and my brain was just static. I didn't know what
Yes,
to make of it. So we attempt to just give a little bit more structure to her next steps. That would be how we more uniquely meet her than we do some of the older women that we see. And
right.
then make sure that we stay in support with the parenting education, the resources, the support, and equip her to have those family conversations and find out what her support circle looks like and maybe explore alternatives if she doesn't have any. And so one thing that we're missing in the state, and I think legislation is moving in the direction of opening more maternity homes for these young girls
Yes.
that don't have family support. And I'm very glad to see that red tape kind of being removed so we can have more access to real tangible support services for girls like these.
Yes, yes. Oh man, that is a breath of fresh air to hear that. You guys do see, like you said, it's a small percentage, but you
Mhm.
do see that you're prepared to handle that, and they have somewhere to go where who and they can talk to an organization like you guys. I mean, I know, Sonia, I know there's so much more that you guys do, and that we can talk about. So I want you to share just share, you know, how can people find you guys? How can they get in contact with you? And if they wanted to volunteer.
Yeah, great. So, if you are in need of any of our services, if you're a patient or a client in need of any of the things we've talked about, our website is www.thebridgewellness.org, and that's where you're going to find our scheduler and the list of services that we provide. If you're looking to volunteer, donate, support in some way, our website is supportthebridgewellness.org. And so either one of those is going to get you directed towards a place where what you're looking for. You're going to be able to find donation services, appointment services, contact information for me. My email is, it looks like Shegwood by the time you're done writing it out, at the Bridge Wellness. My phone number here is 770-957-8288. Would love to have a conversation with anybody who has questions, comments, gripes, complaints. We'll take those too. But like we're here to help fill the gap for a lot of women who don't know what to do next. And so we're glad to be here.
Well, Sonia, I just have to say that, you've been a blessing. You continue to be a blessing, in this community. And everyone knows that comes in contact with you. They could just, feel that radiating from you and and everything that you do. So truly appreciate, you coming on the podcast. We want to share this with everyone. And, just keep us posted on what's going on at the bridge and what you guys are doing, and any way we can help to support you, we definitely will do that. So we appreciate you being on.
Thanks, Lincoln. Thank you for having the chance to share a little bit. It's exciting.